I refuse to be beaten. It's that time again. It's Dazzie's Hot Comic Book Alerts. It's episode 73 and it's another special edition. This time we're discussing the Stargirl TV series coming to the DC streaming service. What have I got for you? Because you know the score. News waits for no man. The Injustice Society has recruited its first 3 members. Yes, we're talking villains. The actors taking on the roles of Tigress, Sportsmaster and Dragon King on the upcoming live-action DC Universe's series Stargirl will be Joy Osmansky, Neil Hopkins and Nelson Lee, respectively. The Injustice Society, a volatile collective of master criminals, dates back to 1947 in the pages of DC Comics, where the group was the underworld's counterpoint to the Justice Society of America, DC's first superhero team. The vintage heroes and villains have a prominent presence in Stargirl, which will premiere in 2019 on the DC Universe's subscription streaming site. First up, we have Joy Osmansky. This is Joy Osmansky. Joy Osmansky. Like I said, she will be taking on the role of Tigress. The official Stargirl character description for the lethal criminal, protecting and providing for her family, Paula Brooks hunts the world's most dangerous game, humans, as the Tigress. Tigress has comic book roots going back to 1947, although she was called the Huntress in those days. She was introduced as the nemesis of Wildcat and was inspired in part by another DC's most famous femme fatale, Catwoman. Osmansky's credits include work in recurring roles on Netflix's The Santa Clarita Diet, Freeform's The Fosters, Lifetime's Devious Maids and The Foxes' The Following. She has also guest starred on iZombie, Younger and Lucifer. I'm a big fan of iZombie and Lucifer. Osmansky is represented by Kazarine, Measures, Ruskin and Associates and Bohemia Group. So, what can I tell you about Paula Brooks, the Tigress? Well, first up, we're not getting her first appearance. Not as Paula Brooks, because that is a comic from 1947. This is the comic. Nobody's going to have this one, guys. This is Sensation Comics, issue 68 from 1947. Now, clearly, none of us can go out and just buy a Golden Age book that easily. So, like I said, Paula Brooks was first as the Huntress in Sensation Comics. Then, later on, she becomes the Tigress. So she switches from the Huntress to the Tigress. And that is a comic I have purchased today. It is reasonably priced. I got mine in about the £4 range. And that book, to be on the lookout for Paula Brooks, the Tigress, is Young All-Stars. DC Young All-Stars. Issue number 6. This is the book, guys. Look out for this one. I believe it is from the 1980s. That's the first character down. The second character we are talking is played by actor Neil Hopkins. This is Neil Hopkins. He's the actor. And he will be playing Lawrence Crusher Croc, aka the Sportsmaster. Now I remember the Sportsmaster from, I think it was the Young Justice animated show. Now he again first appears in the Golden Age as Crusher Croc. And that was All American Comics 85 from 1947. Here's the book, guys. Now clearly None of us can afford that one. But then he becomes the Sportsmaster. So he goes from Crusher Croc to the Sportsmaster. Again, it's a Golden Age book. This is Green Lantern, issue 28 from 1947. Again, it's another book we're not going to be able to afford. But there is a second Sportsmaster. And that character is called Victor Glover. And he first appears in this comic from 1989. Be on the lookout, guys. Manhunter, issue 17. This is the Sportsmaster book we're on the lookout for, guys. Okay? That's 2 down. So we've got Tigress and we've got Sportsmaster. And the final one is a book I have just purchased today. I've seen it in numerous places and never pulled the trigger. You will find this one probably in your dollar bins. The character. Sorry, first of all, what can I say a little bit about Sportsmaster? Let's go back. What can I say about Sportsmaster? aka a long-time enemy of the Justice Society of America. The Stargirl series description for Sportsmaster. He sees the criminal pursuits as a game to win and his competitors as targets to kill. The only thing more important to Croc than the game is his family. Sportsmaster first appeared in DC's All-American Comics in 1947, as I just showed, and often used augmented athletic gear, e.g. exploding hockey pucks, rocket-launched baseball bats, etc. And he later teamed up with and married the character that would become known as Tigress. Sportsmaster is married to Tigress. Hopkins is best known for his series regular work on El Rey Network's Matador and his recurring role in ABC's landmark series Lost in the role of Liam Pace. Hopkins is represented by SDB Partners and the Chrono Group. Now, like I said, we're moving on to the last one. So we've got Tigress, we've got Manhunter. Now, like I said, the last villain of the 3 is a book I've just purchased today. And like I say, you will find this in your dollar bins. I find it all the time. And this is played by the actor... Nelson Lee. And this is Nelson Lee. Okay? Nelson Lee. Now, Nelson Lee is going to be playing the mastermind Dragon King. Dragon King, okay? A super villain who hides his face and his past. Dragon King is described in the official series notes as a deadly and mysterious hooded man. This controversial scientist has been experimenting on himself and his victims since the 1940s. The Dragon King was introduced in this comic. I've just bought it. DC's All-Star Squadron, issue number 4 from 1981. This is the first Dragon King, guys. You can find this dirt cheap. Get out there and get looking for it. What can I tell you a bit more about Dragon King? He was introduced in All-Star Squadron number 4 as a former high-ranking scientist and an occult expert in the government to Imperial Japan, who after World War II experimented on himself to a horrific effect. Lee can be seen in Disney's upcoming live adaptation of Mulan. He previously worked with Stargirl showrunner Jeff Johns on Spike TV's Blade the series. His other credits include recurring roles on HBO's Oz, Amazon's Sneaky Pete and ABC's 10 Days in the Valley. Nelson also co-directed the indie feature AI Tales this past year. Lee is represented by TCA and Bohemia Group. Greg Berlanti, Johns, Sarah Schlechter and Melissa Carter are executive producers of Stargirl, which is based on the DC character created by Johns. The series is produced by Berlanti Productions and Mad Ghost Productions in association with Warner Brothers Television. Showrunner Jeff Johns is writing the first episode as well. The 1999 introduction of the title character was a key success for Johns as a comic book writer. Stargirl was directly inspired by his sister, who died in a 1996 plane explosion. The show's logline: Stargirl follows high school sophomore Courtney Whitmore as she inspires an unlikely group of young heroes to stop the villains of the past. This new drama reimagines Stargirl and the very first superhero team, the Justice Society of America, in an unpredictable series. Brett Bassinger of Nickelodeon's Bella and Bulldogs will play this cosmic title character on Stargirl, which is an original series offerings that Warner Brothers Digital Networks and DC Entertainment are banking on as they launch their ambitious streaming site aimed at superhero fans. Sounds very exciting, I think. I've got the first appearance of Stargirl in Stars and Stripes Zero, I think it is. So let's recap. We're not going to go back and tell you about the 1940s books. I was just showing you them. So the first one up is the first appearance of Paula Brooks as the Tigress. Young All-Stars issue 6 from DC Comics. Up next we have the first appearance of the Sportsmaster, the one we can afford. This is Manhunter, issue 17 from 1989. And finally, the first appearance of Dragon King. And that, guys, is in All-Star Squadron issue number 4 from 1981. Get out there. You can find Young All-Stars. You can find All-Star Squadron. I know you can. And probably the Manhunter book. Just 3 books to be on the lookout for. Go get them, guys. That's over now. Bye for now.